Welcome to DAX. Now, what is DAX? We'll surely talk about it, but the name is very cool, DAX. So we'll talk about DAX formulas and functions. DAX basically an abbreviation of its full form is data analysis expression. So in this module, we are going to talk about the introduction to DAX. We'll surely have a look upon a few examples of DAX, and finally, we'll have hands-on practice with DAX on Power BI. It's a very useful tool. So basically, DAX, data analysis expressions, they are basically a formula language, right? And it is used in Power BI and other Microsoft tools, Microsoft related tools like Power Pivot, like analysis services, and so on and so forth. So it is basically used for data modeling and calculation purposes. So sometimes we want to perform calculations upon the whole column, upon the whole row, or something like that. So we should not go for each and every cell individually. We can simply write a formula that is a DAX formula, and it will work perfectly fine for us. So it also allows users to create custom calculations, right? There are some basic level of calculations that are already available in most of the softwares. For example, sum, deletion, subtraction, and stuff like that. But what if we need some custom sort of calculations? So this DAX is very useful over there if we want to perform some custom calculations, or we want to manipulate the data that is available within our Power BI tool. Let's quickly have a look upon a few examples of DAX. So for example, a very simple example is, for example, if in your sales sheet or your sales data, you have a revenue column and you have a cost column, right? So here you have a cost of some product, and then you have a revenue at which you are selling this particular product. And you want to calculate the profit. So we know that if we subtract cost from the revenue, we'll get the profit, right? So if we want to generate a new profit column, this is how we can do that, by using DAX, and we'll actually practically we'll also be doing that. Then we also have and by the way, this is called calculated columns. We are calculating the columns we are calculating a new column over here. Then we have measures as well. Measures, DAX can create measures that perform aggregation or calculations on data. So basically, measures are performed upon whole column. If you want to get one value from the whole column, aggregation means that you want to aggregate the whole column. You want to get one value from the whole column. For example, you want to get the product of whole column. You want to get the sum of whole column. So these are the measures, right? You can also perform measures with the DAX as well. Then you can also filter the data by using DAX as well. For example, you want to calculate the sum of revenue for the year 2023 or some other year as well, right? So here you're filtering your data, and here you're performing your measure, right? You're performing your aggregate function. So you can perform filtration by using DAX as well. Then we have if and switch condition. Just like you can say any programming language, we have if else sort of conditions over there. So and also in Microsoft Excel, we also have similar kind of if else conditions, right? Or maybe they're called switch conditions as well. They're also available in Power BI as well. For example, I have a column where the profit is visible, right? Let's say I have 100 profit, 200 profit, 300 profit, and loss is visible in terms of negatives, right? Negative 500, negative 1000, so on and so forth. I want to create a new column that will not mention the statistical values of profit or loss. That will only mention profitable if there is profit, and loss making if there is loss, right? So we have already defined if the values in profit column are greater than 0, then it is profitable. If they are less than 0, then it is loss making, right? So we can simply say if profit is greater than 0, then write profitable. Otherwise, this is otherwise situation, or you can say else situation. Otherwise or elsewise, you can write loss making, right? Obviously, if profit is not greater than 0, it might be equal to or less than 0. So if it is equal to or less than 0, it is loss making, right? So, and thank you for just having a look at the theoretical aspect of DAX. we still have to perform a lot of practical stuff on DAX. So I'll see you in next video with a lot of practical stuff. So first thing first, we are going to import the data, and since we have Excel file, so we'll directly click on Excel workbook, and here in data folder I have cookie data, right? So I'll simply open it up, and I'll wait for a few seconds. Yeah, so here I have. So I'll click on this cookie type. So in this table we have the cookie types, for example chocolate chip, for example sugar cookie, and so on and so forth. The number of units sold for each cookie type, the revenue per cookie, and the cost per cookie as well is also visible over here. Then we have the customers. Let me also select customers from here. So we have total 5 customers over here that are purchasing the cookie from this particular retailer, and then we have the orders. So these are all the orders that are available over here that are made by these customers for these particular cookies, right? So we are going to import all three tables over here. Transform data, no, we are going to talk about transform data in next module. Right now we are going to simply go ahead and load the data set. So it will load the data set in a while. It is taking some time. Here we go. Okay, so data set is loaded. You can see 3 tables from over here: customer, order, and cookie type, right? So I have already provided the data files to you guys. So in your spare you can pause the video over here. You can explore the data at your end as well. You can have a look what are the columns available in each table and stuff like that. I would highly recommend you, whenever you're working on data analysis project, just have a look on your data by opening the data and by reading its column, by reading its details, by reading its documentation. Spend at least, let's say 20-30 minutes, depending upon the size of the data that you have. Let's say you have these 3 tables. So let's say about this data set, you should spend at least 5 to 10 minutes by learning about this data set, that what is this data set saying. I already know what this data set is saying. So for example, here we have the order ID, then we have the customer ID. Customer ID means that it must be linked to this customer table, since here we also have customer ID, so there must be some relationship between customer and order. Then we have cookie type. Cookie types are this chocolate chip and this kind of a thing. If we go to the orders, we go to product table, you can see this chocolate chip, which means that the product is basically the cookie type, right? So first of all, let's go ahead and create the relationships. Let's go to the model view, and this Power BI is intelligent enough sometimes to detect the relationships. For example, it has already detected the customer ID over here and the customer ID over here, so it has created the relationship, but it has not created a relationship between cookie type and orders. Why? Because one of the reasons could be because the column name is different. Here in cookie type, the column name is cookie type, and in order table the column name is product. So I'll simply drag and drop cookie type over product, and the relationship is created. Here we go. So now we can see that there is a relationship of 1 to many between customers and orders table, and 1 to many relationship between, again, cookie type and orders table, which means that one cookie type will have multiple orders, and one customer will have at least one or many, at least one and at max many orders over here, right? So we have created the relationships, we have created the model over here. Data view is also completed. So let's go to the report view. What is this? Let's simply delete this. Okay, so here we have the data, here we have the views, and then we have the filters. So let's go ahead and create our first measure. So for example, here in the orders table, I want to calculate the total number of units that are sold. So here I have the units sold. For example, if I go to the data view and I go to the orders table, so I have the units sold column over here, right? So I want to calculate the sum of whole this column, right? So I'll simply right click over here on the table and I'll go to new measure, right? The first option over here, new measure. It will open up a new my year for us over here. Yeah, so it has opened up my year tools, and here it has opened up a window for us to type in the formula, right? So now here, this is the equal to sign, the assignment operator, and then at left hand side there will be the new name of this column, right? So for example, the new name of this column is going to be total number of units, oh, not units sold, right? And here I'll simply write S, and you can see all the related functions, DAX functions that are available over here in Power BI. Okay, so I'll say SUM, right? So all the related functions to sum are visible over here, and here you can see this arrow sign, right? If you click on this arrow sign, it will open up further details about this particular function. It says that adds all the numbers in a column, and yeah, that is what we want. So I'll simply click on this function, and here we go. So it has opened up its intelligence, and we can surely write, we can type the name of the column that we want to work with, and the second option is we can select that column from here, right? So here you can see, first of all, the table name is written, and then in brackets the column name is written. For example, the customer table and address column, right? We are interested in orders table and units sold column. So here is the orders table, you can see that, and where's the orders? So if I say orders, and here we go, at last you can see orders units sold. So either I can click over here, or I can write the whole formula over here, and then I'll close it by bracket, right? So I'll start it by bracket and I'll close it by bracket, and that's it. I'll hit enter, and here we go. So you can see total number of units sold column is added over here. Now for example, if I want to visualize it, I'll add a matrix over here, and I want to visualize how many which customer. Let me import the names of the customers over here, right? So I have all the customers over here. I'll see the total number of units received by each customer. Here we go, right? Or not received but ordered by each customer. So here you can see that this particular customer, ABC Grocers, have this many placed these many cookies orders, and then this one, and then everyone, and then we have a total number of cookies sold over here, over 1 million, right? So this is how you can write your own DAX functions. Moreover, you can see here the sum of the cookies is written in decimal numbers, and 0.50 does not make any sense. So you can also change its data type as well. So just click over here, it will open up such a window, and then here you can see it says decimal points, it says auto. So just click the up arrow, it will make it 0, and here we go. So it is gone, right? Now it looks better. Okay, then let's come back to home, and yeah, so congratulations, you have written your first DAX function. Now we are going to write more complex kind of DAX functions from upcoming video. Alright, so now let's work on a few more aggregation functions as well. So for example, what if we want to count total number of rows over here? For example, here in the orders, I want to know how many orders do I have in total. So I'll simply go over here. I'll say, where is the order? So I'll say right click, new my year. I already have it. Okay, so it is opening up and the window for me. So here we go. So here I can say let's say total or orders, right? So here total order means that I need to count the rows. So I'll say count, and here we go. You can also see the description of each and every function. The moment I just change the function from here by using my up and down arrows, you can see the description of each function is also changing, right? So I need count rows method that is telling me counts the number of rows in a table. That is what I need. And then from here, which table do I want to work with? I want to work with the orders table, and then from the orders table I want to work with the customer ID, right? So I'll say customer ID with the space, right? And I'll close it. It is giving me the error. Let's see. It says that parameter is not correct type. Hey, what do we mean by that? So let me simply remove it, and let me see what is it saying. Okay, so I basically need orders. Yeah, this one is orders table. And then, oh yeah, so basically I forgot. So here, as the description says, counts the number of rows in a table, not in a column. So we need to mention a table over here, and table name is orders, and that's it. It should work. So total orders are must be visible over here after it is working on it. Yeah, so here it says total orders. So let me create a new matrix here, and let me let me write total orders over here. Total orders are 700. And what if I want to check out with respect to each customer? So here are the customer names. So ABC Grocers has 132 orders, and then ACME Bytes has 206 orders, and so on and so forth, and the total number of orders are 700. Now what if I want to count the distinct values in a particular row? For example, if I go back to the data view, I want to count how many customers, how many total customers do I have in this column, right? In this table. I already know from my customer table that I have 5 customers over here, but just for the sake of learning, I want to know from the orders table how many distinct customers are here in this orders table, so I can check out the customers from the customer ID. So I need to implement the distinct method on this orders table, and there are 2 ways. I can right click over here, I can go to new my year, and the second method is, you can see the moment I simply click over here, the left click over here on the table, there are a few options open up for me. So I'll click on the new my year. I'll also let you know what is this quick my year, new column and new table thing. So for now we are working with simple my years. So here I'll say, let's say count of customers, right? And then I'll say distinct count, right? So it gives me count, it counts the number of distinct values in a column, right? So I need to mention the column over here. So I want to work with the orders table, and here I want to implement this method on customer ID, right? Closing the method and hitting enter button. It is working on it, and here you can see the count of customer is added, right? Let me just minimize this matrix and this one as well, so that I can create a new one. Okay, so let's get oh, not this one, come on. Okay, so I need a new matrix over here. This is the new one. So I'll drag and drop this count of customers over here. So I have total 5 customers. So it is verified that from orders table as well, that I have 5 customers in order table. Now, what if I want to measure the profit, right? I have the revenue over here with me. I have the cost with me as well. Yeah, here I have the cost. So how can I measure the profit? You can see here I have the revenue, here I have the cost. So this is a little bit more complex, not complex, but a new thing, right? So if I want to calculate the profit, I need to take sum of this revenue column, and I have to take the sum of this cost column, and then I have to subtract these value, right? So the sum of cost column will be subtracted from the sum of revenue column, and it will give me the profit, right? So I'll come over here. Now again, we are talking about the order table. I'll go to the new my year, and will open up the window here for me to write the function. Come on, do it. Okay, so here I'll simply say profit, and I'll say sum of orders, first of all I need to take sum of revenue, simply subtract, I need to close the function, and then I'll say subtract, and then I'll again take sum of, from orders table I need to take the sum of cost, and that's it. I'll hit enter button. It will add the profit column here for us. So it is working on it. Okay, so it is, yeah, here we go. So you can see the profit column over here. It wasn't here before, so I'll simply drag and drop it over here at the metrics, and you can see total 5 customers have made this much of a profit. I can also check out the profit with respect to each customer name as well. So I'll go to the customer column over here. I'll click on the name column, and here we go. Let me just increase the size of this matrix. So here we go. So you can see ABC Grocers have made this much of profit, ACME have made this much of a profit, and the total profit is over 2.7 million, right? So this is how you can create, you can aggregate, you can create complex function by using multiple aggregate functions as well. Okay, so now so far we have seen how we can create new mayors based upon, how we can make use of this new mayors based upon the columns that we have. Now what is this quick mayor thing? We'll talk about this quick mayor thing in upcoming video. In the last video we calculated the profit over here by using this new mayor, right? And now let's go ahead and calculate the same profit by using this quick mayor, right? So I'll simply go over here in orders table, right? I'll click on quick mayor rather than new mayor now, right? So quick mayor, and it will open up a lot of pre-built methods for us, right? So it has aggregate methods for us, it has filters for us. We'll talk about the filters later on. It has time intelligence functions for us. It has total functions for us. It has mathematical functions as well, right? So in order to calculate profit, we need basically mathematical function called subtraction, right? So I'll click on subtraction. So here we need to put the base value. So the base value is going to be revenue, and then the value to be subtracted is going to be cost, and that's it, right? That's it. So we'll say add. So it will add this quick mayor to our model. So here we go. So you can see it has generated the formula by using this quick mayor, right? So if you want to use, let's say, very such methods that are already available over here, that are very famous, very common methods, you can simply come over here and you can use quick mayors. But if you want to create some custom functions that are not available over here, then you have to write the whole formula over here, right? So it says revenue minus cost. So I'll simply click on this plus button. I'll simply come over here. I'll hit enter button, or perhaps you can click over here on this tick sign, so that this revenue minus cost variable will be added over here. And you can see this revenue minus cost. So let me simply close this, and let me drag and drop revenue minus cost over here in this matrix. So you can see the profit that we calculated by using new mayor is exactly as same as the revenue minus cost that we calculated by using quick mayor. So these are exactly the same things. Secondly, if we want to write the you can say the comments, so we'll simply come over here, we'll click on the calculated column, right? So this calculator shows that this calculator sign basically shows that this column is calculated mayor, right? So we'll come over here, we'll click over here on the column, that the calculated column. It will open up this text box over here, the formula box. So we'll press shift enter, and it will go to the next line, and then here we'll write the forward slashes 2 times. You can see these are the green, it turned into green, and here we can write whatever we want. For example, this DAX calculates the profit, right? Simply so that someone else, collaborator will come into, when some collaborator will come into into this worksheet, you'll be able to know what this function is exactly doing, right? So this line will never be executed because it is a comment, but it will be beneficial for other developers, right? So I'll simply close this. It is saving it with the comment. So the next thing is, so far we have computed profit by using new measure, and then again the same profit by using quick measure as well. But what if I go to this data view, I want to add a column of profit over here? How can I do that? So I'll simply click on the orders table on which I want to add the column. I'll come to this new column thing. I'll click on new column. Very simple. And here it says what is the column name. So my column name is going to be profit column, right? So I'm just adding this column word over here so that it will be distinguishable with this existing column with this existing calculation, with this existing measure column that we created over here, right? So here we'll say not sum. We only have to write the table name and the column name. So we'll say orders, and the table name is revenue, minus, it will automatically take its sum. So again, the orders cost, right? That's it. Hit enter button, and this column is added. Here we go. So you can check it at your end as well. If you subtract 584 from 1460, it gives you 876. So our whole new column is added over here. Now here you can see a different symbol that says it is a combination of calculated measure and a calculated table as well, a calculated column as well. So it is a new column that is calculated column. So this is how you can add a new column in your existing model as well. You might be wondering that why we don't always add a new column rather than creating the new measures. So it has a pro and con. Always adding a new column will consume more memory for your program, right? For example, if you have 1 terabyte of whole data and you want to create a new column based upon the existing data, it is going to cost you at least a few gigabytes, right? That is a con, but there is a pro as well. For example, if you have created a new column, you can add new filters as well. For example, if you want to create new visualizations based upon the filtered profit. You want to create only visualization for a particular value of profit that is greater than some particular value, right? Or maybe lesser than some particular value. So there are pros and cons, depends upon your use case. Okay, so now we are going to create a new measure based upon an existing measure. So we are going to see we have already a few existing measures. For example, this profit measure. So we are going to calculate the profit percentage, right? So we'll hit on this new measure tab, and it will open up an editor, the formula editor, the DAX editor for us. Here we go. So here I'll say profit percentage, right? Something like this. And I'll say profit, and here you can see a top with this calculator sign. I'll click over here. That is the profit that we have calculated over here, and I'll divide it with the sum of the revenue, right? And I'll hit simply enter over here. It will add this profit percentage measure to our table over here. And to work with this measure, let me add a new matrix, right? That looks something like this. And let me add, let's say, a few cookie types over here for this, and I want to see how much profit each cookie type is generating. Now you can see cookie type is in some separate table, profit is in separate table, and this profit percentage is based upon another measure that is based upon a few other columns that are in different tables. So this is the beauty of beauty and power of this Power BI. So if I drag and drop it over here, why it is not showing the exact data? Okay, so what if we go over here, we remove cookie type, and we add the customer name. So we want to check out which customer has made how much profit, right? So these are the customer names, and if we add the profit percentage from here, you can see it is showing 58, 58, 58 and such kind of percentage over here. That is not normal, so we'll click on this this profit percentage column, and we'll come over here at the format, drag down, and since it is a percentage, we'll click on percentage. So it is updating, and here we go. So you can see the percentages have changed: 57.93, 57.88, 58 point something. So these are the percentages of profits that are calculated over here, and then at end we have total overall percentage of profit, right? So this is how you can create measures that are based upon some existing measures. Power BI also has a very good support of date and time functions as well, date and time measures as well particularly. So for example, if I want to add the day of the week or maybe day of the month or something like that over here in a new column, I'll simply click over here on the table in which I'm interested. I'll go to the new column, and it will add a new column over here after a few seconds. Yeah, it is done. So here, let's say I want to name it as weekday. Okay, weekday. Oh, not weekday. Oh, that's a bad thing. Okay, so it's not a weekday, it's a weekday. So here we'll say weekday. That is a method, right? And here I need to pass two things. First of all, the date column, as you can see over here. So my date column is in the orders table and orders date, right? I'll click over here and then colon. Then comma. Now it is asking me to add 1, 2, 3. There are 3 measures over here. So if I'll add 1, the day will my week will start from Sunday, right? You can see Sunday equals to 1. And if I'll add 2, my week will start from if I'll add 2 over here, then my week will start from Monday. If I'll add 3, then my week will start from Monday and it will end on Sunday, right? So I'll go with the option 2, where my week should start from Monday, and that is it. I'll hit enter button. It will add the weekday probably over here. Come on. Yeah, here we go. So here it says this is weekday 6, this is weekday 6, this is weekday 1, which means that this order occurred on Monday, right? Now if I go to the report view and I add a new bar chart, for example, over here, and here I'll drop down the order ID. Which one? Yeah, this one. So I'll drop down the order IDs on y-axis, so it will produce the count of all the orders, and then I have this weekday over here. I'll drop it in x-axis. So here we go. Let me just make it a little bit bigger. So here you can see that 1 corresponds to Monday, right? So on Monday we don't have much orders. Then we have this Tuesday, we have a lot of orders. Then we have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then on Sunday we have again a lot of orders, right? So this is how you can work with the date and time functions as well in Power BI measures. Okay, so what if we want to create a new column based upon an existing column? You might be saying that we have already done that over here. What is new? So this new column will be basically based upon some decision making. For example, this new let's create one. So I'll click over here on new column, and the column name will be explanatory enough that you would get an idea. So I want to see the profit above 3,000, right? So I want to see wherever the profit over here in profit column is above 3,000, I'll mention good profit. Otherwise I'll mention not good profit, right? So I'll say if, and here I'll say from order table I want to talk about profit column, where profit column is greater than 3,000, comma. Now if this condition is true, then what should be the written in this column? If this condition is true, then write good profit. Okay. Otherwise, hey, I am adding an extra string mark over here. Okay, so else, so if it is not true, then comma, whatever you write over here will be written over here. So if not, then not good profit. Cool. And I'll close it. I'll hit enter button, and you see a magic over here. Here we go. So here in this profit column, you can see this profit is less than 3000, so it says not good profit. This is also less than 3000, so it is again saying not good profit. This one is above 3000, so it is saying yeah, it is a good one, good profit. Okay, so what if I want to modify this column, and I'll name it as profit above, not 3000, I'll say above average, right? So I want to check out if my profit is above average or not. So here I'll say if it is greater than, I'll calculate the average of which column. I want to calculate the average of profit column. I'll close the braces over here. Now if it is above average, then I'll say above average. Okay, so otherwise I'll say below average. Cool, above average and below average. I'll hit run button, and here we go. So first one is below average, second one is also below average, third one is above average, yeah, fourth one is also above average, fifth one is, you can see it is above 3000, but still it is below average because average might be above 3090, right? So this is how you can create a column dependent upon another column, which is again further dependent upon some other column that is dependent upon some aggregate function, and so on and so forth, right? So I hope now you guys can create new column. You guys can create new measures by using existing columns and existing measures.